Hello and welcome. Today, as I enjoy this beautiful view on a sunny, blue sky day from my office, I think of peace, I think of where the origins of chaos emerge, and I think of good and bad. My mind wanders inevitably to the better and the worse, and a very challenging subject that we all face in life, which is morality, conscience, judgment. And the easier it becomes to understand that subject, the more we can move through the world with a higher level of consciousness and efficacy without creating undue negative consequences for ourselves and others on accident, which is actually very unfortunately common. So the thought for today is that by its nature, morality must be based in the subjective, whether it refers to how one makes a cat feel, a human feel, or a God feel. Morality is a matter of how you make something feel, and of course, that includes yourself. While that may sound complicated at first, it actually just means that how you make something feel is the basis for whether that thing you do is right or wrong. But it's not so simple as to say if you make something feel good, that's right, and if you make something feel bad, that's wrong. Like so many things in life, there are intersections that help us understand these apparently simple or oversimple ideas. And so that's what we'll take a look at next. I'd like to introduce you to the moral matrix. The moral matrix has two parties that are either aligned or misaligned with each other. And here on the y-axis, we have benefit to others that your actions can take, cost to others that your actions can take, benefit to self that your actions can create, and then cost to self that your actions can create. Now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 places that we can live or act in any given moment, or where we can tend to live and act in general as our center of gravity. Position 5 is where there is cost to self and cost to others. Position 4 is where there is cost to self and benefit to others. Position 3 is where there's benefit to self and cost to others. Position 2 is where there's no benefit or cost to self, no benefit or cost to others. And position 1 is where there is benefit to others and benefit to self. While there are kinds of pressures in this world, and those pressures lead us in various directions, it can be hard to know which pressures to pay attention to and which direction we're going in order to flow downstream along our path. In the moral matrix, we see that there is a position where there is a lose-lose scenario, there is a position where there's a win-win scenario, and there are the positions in between, the win-lose, the lose-win, and the neutral position. Let's take another look when we consider the role of pressure and conscience and morality when it comes to the matrix. Subjectively speaking, for myself, there is a kind of directionality of desire, whereas I'd much rather not only be a rock star, but be surrounded by rock stars than to be an addict or be surrounded by addicts. Now, as a healer, I am committed to the possibility that an addict can become a rock star, and this map is my first foundation stone for helping myself and others understand what that path or process may look like. So whether you stay an addict your whole life, you are born a rock star and stay that your whole life, or move through these in-between stages, there is a discernible path from the more negative position through the less negative position to the least negative or most positive position. And a map helps because it organizes our direction of travel. Now let's take a look at how people could interact in all 4 of these positions. If an addict meets a rock star healer, that rock star healer could help the addict move from their position to a superior one. But if an addict meets another addict, then they are what's called codependent, and the chances of the addict moving are very low. The chances of either of them moving in the positive direction are very low. If an addict meets a victim, then the victim gets sucked in where the addict benefits, the victim suffers, and it's not a very inspiring story. No less inspiring, or no more inspiring, is the scenario where the addict meets the criminal, and the criminal benefits, whereas the addict suffers. And the neutral position is arguably just as uninspiring as the other two, where someone who doesn't want to deal with the addict, doesn't know how to deal with the addict, doesn't know how to help them, but doesn't want to become a victim of the addict, doesn't want to become a criminal taking advantage of the addict, and so they just sit this one out. A healer, a helper, someone who can raise someone else's condition, is the only hope. And the healer has a map. The healer has a sequence or process they follow, be it implicit or explicit, that probabilistically speaking has a positive influence on the lose-lose situation. So this has been the presentation called The Moral Matrix. My intention is for us to have a more clear and collective understanding of the influences that we have on each other, be they negative or positive, and to decrease the shame around negative influences we have on each other, and to decrease the vanity associated with positive influences we have on each other. I hope this has been a helpful presentation, and I look forward to the next one. Thank you.